Hey, hello. It's good to see you. Oh, I am back in town. This is Love Morning. I am John Halcyon Stin, and this is a opportunity, a daily practice that I have been not practicing on the daily. Last few days, I just got back from Connecticut, and then on the way home, I stopped in Syracuse for the eclipse, and got home late last night after a 16-hour travel day. And I came home and I had this cool hoodie that showed up on my doorstep that I ordered, and I'm loving it, except it's way too warm. And I like the way it looks, and I did this in lieu of doing my hair. And now I feel like, you know what? I gotta take it off. I gotta take it off because I'm too hot. So, good morning, Gerbot. There we go. Whew. Okay. No need to start the day with that much sweating. Although it was cold in my place this morning. It's 65, which is cold for here for a morning. So I turned the heat on for a little bit. I should have left it cold, and I could have worn my cool hoodie. Good morning. We are here to share some gratitude and set the day direction for ourselves. Good morning, Razor Blade. Good morning, Peter. Good to see you live, Peter. Hello. I had so much gratitude for the trip that I just returned from. So much gratitude for the time I got to spend with Asher and Amy. I got to hang out at Asher's 5th birthday party and go to his very first ever T-ball game or T-ball practice and play with Hot Wheels and play hide eggs and roughhousing and all sorts. It was just lots of giggling and laughing, like a bath together. He got to teach me how to play Minecraft. It was a lot of fun. Thank you, Peter. So glad to see you, Race. What is that? A heart flag that you posted? I don't know if I've seen that emoji. Cool. Thanks, Razorblade. Gerbot says, I'm grateful I got to see Totality in Caryville, Texas with my dad and some old friends and met some new ones. Sweet. What was your weather like? I'm very curious. I was in Connecticut with Asher and Amy, and so I planned my trip so I would come home through Syracuse, where they had Totality for about a minute and a half. And so I woke up yesterday morning, played with Asher in the morning, left at 9 a.m., drove 4 hours to Syracuse, and hung out there, which was a beautiful city. Actually, I didn't see that many beautiful things about the city, but I enjoyed the friendly people at a diner, and then hung out in the car park at the airport. I checked it out in advance, but there's like a grassy area and picnic tables. I'm like, this is like a little park, and it's wide open. It'd be a good place to check out the eclipse. And so I went and got food, and I came back, and like the car park was full of people. It was like a little mini festival of eclipse watchers it was actually the cell phone lot at the airport. And so I hung out there with quite a few people in Syracuse, and it was clear because just as the started to eclipse started, and then it got cloudy, and we had some peeking through the clouds before and after Totality. But man, Totality is a trip. Gerbot says a little cloudy, but it actually enhanced the effect. We drove a little north of town to avoid some of the thicker clouds. So that was I noticed that too. That when it was cloudy, I could look directly at it and see the sliver of the eclipse. I probably saw 98% with bare eye through the clouds, and it was incredible. But when Totality was happening, it was super cloudy, so you couldn't see anything. But it gets so dark, and so where like look, it's just cloudy, 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 and all of a sudden you look on the horizon and it's like night, black in the horizon, and looking to the west, and then it gets like where you are, it gets darker and darker and darker and darker. It's like it goes from uh like 5 in the afternoon to, and then sunsets in a matter of a minute, and then the sun rises and you see the sun, like a sunset along the horizon and a sunset on the horizon. It was super trippy. Um, and cool. And next said that you went to see 100% in Ohio as well. That's so rad. Good for you. Gerbot says total trip when it got almost as dark as night. Yeah. Now I'll be honest. I had to sneeze. Pardon me. The last eclipse, I had a really significant experience, and I've talked about it here. And I encourage everyone try to get to totality, because totality is just so much different than 98%. That darkness that happens. And for me, I had the last time in Oregon, a real like, I was like shaking and crying, and it was an awesome feeling of just being, I don't know, I couldn't explain it. It's just like, I felt like the universe was acting upon me and I had no control. It was really powerful. And I was hoping that happened again so I could just dedicate my life to following eclipses. But alas, no, I did not have a powerful experience. It was cool. And I was like, wow, this is cool. But I did not have any sort of physical reaction to the eclipse like I did last time. And maybe it was because it was covered and I couldn't see it. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm still glad that I would have regretted if I didn't try. I'm really glad that I didn't make the effort to go to Texas for the Eclipse Festival. Or 50,000 people were told yesterday morning the festival is canceled. Go home. The weather, they were expecting like crazy bad weather, and they were worried about everyone's safety, so they just said everyone leave. But I haven't talked to my friends. I've heard that they still had good visibility even though they were preparing for bad weather. I haven't heard all the stories yet. Who else has got some gratitude? Razorblade says, I'm grateful for no damage to my personal belongings while my bedroom ceiling leaked. Oh, what a drag. Well, I'm glad that there was no damage. I am grateful that I had a pretty easy travel experience. A couple things that I was going to share today. One, I was traveling, and I'm used to, my phone not updating the time. And so I do the math of how much time I have left on a 6-hour flight. And I didn't realize it, but my phone was updating by time zones. And so I look at my watch at one point, and it's, according to my math, I'm like, I still have almost 4 hours of this flight? I'm like, oh my God, like I'm like, I feel like I've been flying forever. I feel like I've watched like a whole season of Better Call Saul, and like, oh my, like, but I still have 3 hours, over 3 hours. Okay, all right, I can do this. And then I kept looking at my clock. I'm like, is time really going that slow? Like, then I looked up on the app. They've got like a in-flight app, and it said there was only 40 minutes left. So apparently my watch was updating to the time zones. Thank God. I was really like, I felt like I was in like like I was going faster than the speed of light or something. Like, there's no fucking way that only an hour and a half has passed. So thankfully that wasn't the case. Anyone else have any gratitude they want to share? One other, this is something that I'm still haven't fully digested, but I had several experiences during this trip where I noticed myself having like old feelings of what's the right thing to do, or how do you make sure people are like happy? How do you people please in the situation? Don't do anything that would make people upset. And then decided to do what to take care of myself. A couple examples. One was I wore the shoes that I was wearing have like elastic laces, and when you're walking, it's fine. But if you just sit there with the elastic laces, it starts to really pinch on your foot, especially after 10 plus hours. So after the drive and then all this time, after my first flight, I was like, oh my gosh, my feet hurt so much. And they're old sneakers, and I've been traveling all day. And I was like, a part of me, I have a voice. It's like, it is so not cool to take your shoes off in front of other people. And I was like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, I'm going to go in this area where there's not a bunch of people sitting, and I'm going to take off my shoes, and I'm going to stretch my feet, and I'm going to try to do what I need to do to make myself feel as good as possible for this challenging long day of travel, even if people, are offended by my smelly feet. I don't think I have smelly feet, but that it certainly looks like it with these old sneakers and shaggy looking man. And so I was like feeling good about myself for that's something that would have been harder for me, I think, in the past. And there was a number of times this weekend when I was like, you know what? I I don't care if everyone here loves me. Like I was at Asher's birthday party. I was kind of the odd person out because I don't have any kids. It's a kid's birthday party. Everyone there's a parent, and I'm a little bit of an outsider. And so I was friendly, I think, and I talked to people, and I also was like, you know what? I don't have to have everybody leave here thinking that I'm the coolest guy ever, which is sometimes I do have a voice in my head that, like, if you're at a party, make sure everybody leaves thinking, "Wow, I'm glad I met that guy. Oh, he gave me a sticker. Oh, he said a cool story." And I was like, "I don't have to do that." Uh, and I guess the last example, which is the one that I'm least proud of, but whatever I ate in Syracuse, whatever combination of delights, I was so gassy on my flight. And this is a circle of trust, right? We've only got a few people live right now, so I can be honest with you. On the first 3 hours of my flight from Syracuse to San Diego, I farted, not exaggerating, 60 times. Luckily, they weren't stinky, but it felt so much better to, like, fart versus just kinda, like, let it seep out, you know? And they just kept the more every time I fart, it would, like, build back up again. It would just build back up. And I felt okay as long as I just kept farting. If I was trying to, like, let it out casually or sleep it out, then it kind of was pain, and so I was like, "You know what? I don't care." Like, is the guy who farts 60 times on a cross country flight, that is not the hero of this trip, of this flight experience that we're all sharing. But I don't care because I need to take care of myself. I need to do what I need to feel better. So let it out. I mean, I have my headphones in. I'm like, I'm just gonna see if it's audible. And I can hear the plane sounds. I'm like, I don't think you can hear this. So yeah. But who knows? I have my headphones in, so if there were some that were louder than others, then I could have been I could have been the object of someone's ire for sure. And I think that there's a couple reasons for this shift, and it may not even seem like a big deal for some people, but for me, who has been working through this, like, over caring what people think. I think it's a combination of therapy, of addressing these traumatic kind of chapters of early childhood of feeling like I need to do right to be loved, like if I need to do the right thing to be loved. And not anything with my parents, just like that's a childhood, it's a common uh misstep in our growth. And the other thing is that I feel like I'm in a secure relationship now. So this relationship with Lisa is so healing. It's the reason why secure attachment is such a powerful part of healthy growth. is because I feel like I'm in this partnership where I am loved no matter what my feet are like, no matter how much eczema I had. That was another thing. I was like, you know what, my skin is been so bad, like whatever. And not whatever, but like I don't like it. I don't want to be in the world like this, but I'm not gonna freak out about it, and I'm not gonna, hide. It is what it is. I have to deal with this. And no matter how much I fart, like I am loved and it doesn't matter. And that like relaxation into that place through therapy and through secure attachment, I really felt the difference of it. I felt like, wow, I'm growing into that place that people talk about. Like as you get to in your 50s, you get that place of like, I give less fucks. And it really felt like that. Not that I don't give a fuck, because I definitely give fucks, but I give fewer fucks. So hallelujah. Ben, hello to you, Bobcat. Bobcat says, grateful for dear friends who offer support when others are hurting. Thank you, Bobcat. And Panos, hi, what a treat. Panos says, replying to Bobcat, I was about to share that I'm grateful for friends during these difficult times. Thanks for reassuring my reason today. Much love. Well, now I feel a little childish that I was talking about farting so much, but you know what? I'm going to give fewer fucks about that as well. Any final gratitudes before we have a hug and go off into our days? I am feeling grateful to be back home and back in Lisa's arms this morning. And I'm grateful that she picked me up at the airport with a sign. She like dressed up and I didn't have her phone with her. So I was like calling like, oh, I don't know where she is. And this woman just starts walking to me from the curb of the parking. I see the silhouette of this like gorgeous woman, and she's holding a sign. I'm like, oh, and it was my Lisa, who made a special appearance at 11 o'clock at night to pick me up from the airport. It was awesome. Good morning, Steve. Good morning to you. And Peter says, hallelujah to fewer fucks. I'm certain Grandpa Caleb is presently appreciating your choice to be less precious in moments that previously gave you anxiety or grief. Yes, I think well said. Moments that previously gave me anxiety. That's really the gift of the fewer fucks, because I think I do have less anxiety now. I really think the secure attachment and the therapy is really establishing a much lower level of anxiety for me, much less social anxiety, much less fear. Yeah, I'm feeling very blessed. I mean, I might get in a funk about things, but the anxiety is really reduced. Gerbot is grateful to be traveling with Dad. How cool! So you guys get to share the eclipse together. That's pretty neat. That's what I think that was another reason why I didn't enjoy the eclipse as much as I could have, is that I was kind of killing time in an airport parking lot, basically, or a park at an airport, and I didn't know anyone around me, and I felt like I'm in another state. I'm this weird pink-haired guy with eczema farting, in a park. And so I wasn't quite like relaxed and with friends. And I think last time I saw an eclipse, I was surrounded by friends and my partner at the time. And I think there was I had more presence. Whereas yesterday I was a little less, I think, in the moment. And I think it would have been better or more present if I had a community or a family. So I'm glad that you got to do that. Any last gratitudes? I'm grateful that I wanted to get a light colored hoodie, and I'm really happy for this one. It's super, super soft, and I hope it stays soft as I wash it. But and at least for the very brief period of time, it's not stained pink around the neck, which most of my white clothing gets. I love buying like inexpensive or used light clothing because it all gets pink around the neck. Well, with that, I'm so glad to be sharing this morning with you. I'm so glad to be back online after my time away. I had such a beautiful time with Asher and Amy. So grateful to be Asher's bio dad. Such a gift to be able to witness the growing spirit inside this little human. It's a real magical experience. So grateful that I got to experience so much of it. And I'll probably share more about that process of like witnessing this little mind, little creativity. It's like it kind of tickled old memories that I have not had access to for 40 years or so. Yeah. Peter says, I'm grateful that my sleep got disrupted so I could be present for a great hug morning. I'm so glad that you're here live. Always love your comments on YouTube, and it's such a treat to have you here live. So wherever you are in this moment, whether you're watching this recording or here right now on Tuesday morning, give yourself a big hug. And as you're hugging yourself, imagine we're hugging one another, present to this shared experience of gratitude and being a love ambassador. Grateful for our bodies, this moment, focusing on so many things that we have in our lives to treasure, be grateful for, and appreciate as we take a deep breath in and squeeze one another. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and everyone here, thank you for being here for this beautiful love morning. That reminds me, tomorrow morning I have to get some blood work done at like 8:30. So it might be, I'm going to do my best to do a love morning, but it could be iffy tomorrow. So if I'm not here at 9 o'clock, it's because I am giving blood to confirm that all is well in this temple. Thank you, Razorblade. Thank you, Gearbot. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful day.